Hi there, my name is Krista Giles, and I love Tom Bihn. Okay, so a little bit of a story about why I'm doing videos for Tom Bihn. Way back when, actually, well, okay, a long time ago, there was a online knitting magazine called Knitty, and they were geared towards knitters and making amazing patterns, and they joined forces with Tom Bihn to create a wonderful bag called the Swift. And this is my Swift. It was gifted to me by the wonderful owners of the store in the background. This is 3 bags full in Vancouver, BC, Canada. And that was about 4 or 5 years ago, and I hadn't heard of Tom Bihn before then. I'd seen the discussion on Knitty about how they were designing the ultimate bag for knitters and getting lots of input and feedback from people who wanted to know exactly what could go into the ultimate knitting bag. And the design, Tom, I believe he is the man behind the design, did an excellent job of creating a wonderful bag. So got kind of curious about Tom Bihn, went to the website, looked at all these amazing bags and all the really cool designs and all the really clever features. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And a few years later, kind of followed the blog. I started seeing videos done by Maverick, I believe, and doing product videos just showing all the different features. The field journal in particular, it's like, oh, hello, field journal. But that inspired me to start doing shopcasts for the yarn store. So I actually just taped episode number 37 earlier tonight, and I've been doing about every week or every second or third week these shopcasts that were inspired by Tom Bihn. And so I let them know. I follow them on Twitter. And a little while ago, I was just, tweeting a little note to say, hey, I just spotted one of your bags in our store, and I didn't get a chance to talk to the knitter, but, it looked like a cafe bag, and it was really good. And a couple minutes later, email said, hey, I was meaning to talk to you because we really love the videos you do for the yarn shop, and would you be interested in reviewing some of our knitting bags for us? Yes, thumbs up. So, background about me, I've been passionately knitting for about coming up on 20 years, got into it pretty seriously in college. I've been teaching knitting for probably 15 years. I've been a published knitting designer for about 4. I work a couple days a week in a yarn shop, and pretty much 75–80% of my income has to do with yarn and knitting. So I have a lot of ideas about how yarn should get carried around because most of the time I have a project with me. It's either a sweater or a shawl or a hat. I'm not a big sock knitter. Not a huge lace knitter, though I do the occasional lace piece. But so I have particular ideas about how things should get trekked around with me. And getting a chance to jump into a little bit more detail and share the wonder and glory that are the Tom Bihn bags, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Okay, so there will be a series of me talking to you about Tom Bihn bags, but the first thing I wanted to share was my bag. There's more than one. So this is my Swift, and it's actually gotten more use in the past year than it probably did in the previous 3. I tend to wear messenger bags, so a big strap across. But lately, rather than riding the bus and walking around, I've been riding my bike. So 2 years ago, I bought myself a cargo bicycle. And if you don't know what that is, it's my version. It was an extension that I bolted onto the back of my regular bike. So now instead of having a messenger bag or backpack or regular saddlebags on a bicycle, I have these huge cargo pockets that I can just take a bag just like this and dump it into my cargo pocket, close that, and off I ride. So it's perfect, it's wonderful, I love it. Things that I carry in it, well, let's see, at the moment, pens, hair clips, elastics, jewelry. I'm not the cleanest, tidiest purse person. My wallet is normally in this, but it's currently set up in one of the other bags for a future demo. Broken bicycle mirror. And this is my Tom Bihn yarn stuff sack. So this less stuttering, more speaking calmly. I get excited about Tom Bihn, so this is how I go. But this is actually the one that I use for teaching beginners or teaching any knitting private lesson. It always carries a ball of cream and a set of knitting needles that are the appropriate size. And that just sits in my living room, and when I am ready to go off to work and teach a private lesson in a cafe somewhere, I toss this in my bag, and it's ready to go. The other cool things, I had the extreme pleasure a couple of years ago of actually being in Seattle and being there on one of the days that the factory store was open, and I got to go and look at stuff. And I picked up an organizer wallet, Again, for the purposes of a future demo, it currently is holding knitting stuff. What it normally carries is all of my American money and my American ID and the loyal customer store for one of my favorite American yarn shops. But at the moment it's set up as being a Yarn Notion bag. If I had a second one, I would probably use it this way too. Clever design, but you'll see more about that in one of the future reviews. I also picked up one of the clear-fronted organizer bags, and this is the biggest one they have, I think, unless something new has come out. But it's the perfect size for an 8.5 and 11 pattern. And even when they changed to this slightly more cloudy, I don't remember the proper name for this vinyl, but the see-through stuff, the newer version is less sticky, but the trade-off is that it's a little bit more cloudy. But I can still totally read my whole entire pattern, and it doesn't get wrinkled. I have slipped a little clipboardy thing just to give it a little bit more stability and rigidity so my patterns don't get creased, but lots more could fit in than what I'm actually carrying. Lovely. Has the ever popular clip, so I could clip it onto my bag if I was at all worried about it falling out, or if I am sitting on the bus and I want to flip it out and knit and then just stand up and go because I almost missed my stop because I'm so busy knitting. Happened. I also have one of the medium ones. This I use for holding CDs. I teach a hula hoop dance class, which means that I have to take CDs and provide music when my MP3 player is not working so well. It fits multiple CD cases very, very well. It also fits pocketbooks, paperbacks, very well. I tend to put a lot of stuff in my bags, and my books tend to get shredded a little bit, so if I was more proactive and used this more often on my books, they would stay in better condition. So, and that's it for my bags. The one other thing I treated myself to when I went to the factory was one of these straps. Now I can't show you the whole entire strap because it's attached to a bag that I'll be featuring later, but it is the strap that's made from neoprene, and it is stretchy. And what that stretchiness does is when I'm carrying a crazy heavy load, I bought the strap just to go with an older gym bag that I had. It's made of Cordura. It's lasted a long time. It didn't need the whole bag to be replaced, but the shoulder strap was showing some wear and tear. So this new shoulder strap that I got makes it a lot nicer on my body to be carrying that heavy load, because instead of bouncing every time I took a step and kind of digging in, the neoprene just takes that weight off and stretches it out, and it's really quite lovely. Okay, so that's everything that I'm passionate and excited about. If you would like to learn more about me, and just kind of the background of this person who does knitting and hula hooping and has a cargo bike, you can find me online at kristaknits.com and kristahoops.com. I'll have videos, I'll have links at the end of the video. And if you go to either the Tom Bihn YouTube channel or to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see more of these reviews. All right. Do drop me a line at either of those websites on my contact page if you'd like to get in touch, or if you just want to tell me that you like the videos. I'd love to hear your feedback. All right. I will talk to you soon. Take care.